Hello and welcome to Frost Over the World. Later in the programme, Oscar-winning movie actor Jeremy Irons, former US National Security Advisor Zbigniew Brzezinski, and the latest from Pakistan. But first, the war-torn Democratic Republic of Congo. In November, Nigeria's former president, General Obasanjo, was appointed the UN Special Envoy to the DRC. His task was enormous. Recent fighting has displaced more than 250,000 people to add to the million refugees and 5 million that have already lost their lives in Africa's most brutal conflict. There are several conflicts in Africa, but this is particularly brutal. But perhaps for the first time, there is a glimmer of hope. After two old foes, the two central foes indeed, Rwanda and the DRC, the Congo, agreed to work together to rid the eastern Congo of the militias that have been reaping havoc for so long. And in January, Rwanda arrested rebel leader Laurent Nkunda. So does this mean, finally, that the end of 15 years of conflict could occur, perhaps sometime? Probably not soon, but sometime. To discuss this and the subject of Nigeria and other African issues, I'm delighted to be joined by General Obasanjo. The president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, recently said that he has, quote, never been more hopeful than right now when considering peace in the eastern Congo. Do you share that degree of optimism? Never been more hopeful than right now?
Well, David, if that came from President Kagame, I will have no choice but to be delighted and to accept it gladly. Because on the 7th of November, when the Great Lake leaders gathered in Nairobi with the Secretary General of the United Nations, the chairman of AU and the chairman of the AU Commission, President Kagame and President Kabila will not even talk to themselves, let alone shake hands. And if today the situation has changed to the extent that not only are they talking to themselves and they will shake hands, they will hug themselves, but they are planning and executing a joint operation together, then there is great hope for peace in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo and along the borders of Congo, Burundi, Congo, Rwanda, and Congo, Uganda. So I agree entirely with him.
And was do you think, in fact, the arrest and imprisonment of General Nkunda and the agreement between the two countries over that, was that a surprise to you, or was it something that you were working for?
Well, it wasn't something I was working for, but it's something that one saw gradually unfolding. People said, and there may be some element of truth in that Nkunda was partly mentored by Rwanda. And if you are mentored by somebody, you must be watching the voices or listening to the voices of your mentor. And not only listening to the voices of your mentor, you must be reading the lips of your mentor. I believe that there was a time when Nkunda was not reading the lips of his mentor and probably not listening to the voices of his mentor, but definitely not reading the lips of his mentor. Because when the situation between Kigali, capital of Rwanda, and Kinshasa, capital of DRC, started to change, Nkunda should have seen the handwriting on the wall. He seemed to fail to see the handwriting on the wall. And so what happened after that could not surprise any discerning individual or group of individuals.
Where do you think, General, that he should be tried? Should he be tried in Rwanda or in the DRC, in the Congo?
Well, if there will be any trial, Nkunda is a full-blooded citizen of the Congo, DRC. And if he has done anything wrong, he has done it against his country, DRC. He could be charged for mutiny, but I was told that he has actually been dismissed from the military. So mutiny probably will not hold for a dismissed officer. He could be charged for treason, and if he will be charged for treason, it will be against his own government or his own country, which is DRC. So if there will be any trial at all, it should be in Democratic Republic of the Congo.
Talking of the international community, do you think that some of the criticisms that have been made of the UN, Bernard Kouchner, the French foreign minister, said in reference to the UN that that in fact there are entire brigades that are unable to engage in defensive, let alone offensive action, because their rules of engagement are insufficient or they're very restricted. Someone else is too little, too late, that the UN has been too slow in its response. Is that fair?
Yes. But if the French foreign minister, Kouchner, says that, now who is to blame? The French are one of the permanent members of the Security Council, and the UN in the field is as strong, as effective as the mandate that it has been given by the UN from New York. And if New York does not give the UN in the field the mandate to be effective, the UN in the field will not be effective. And the truth is this, David. Now, if the UN is given the mandate to go out and fight, sooner or later, body bags will be going to the capitals of the contributing countries, force contributing countries. And when that happens, it will be a different story in the UN headquarters. So it's the way you make your bed, you sleep on it, and it's what you give that you get. What you pay for is what you get.
Not that far from the DRC, we went to Sudan some time ago to interview President al-Bashir. Now the International Court wants him arrested and tried for crimes against humanity. Do you think that that if he landed in Nigeria or somewhere, that whatever country it is should indeed detain him for the International Court?
David, we must be very careful about what we do in this world that we called a common village or a common home to all of us. I am not holding brief for any leader anywhere in the world. But I have been a military leader in the field, and I have been a political leader also running the affairs of my country. So I can say that I have been a leader both in peace and in war. For what reason should a political leader who has to fight a war to save his country be held responsible for the atrocities committed by the soldiers in the field, unless there is conclusive evidence that he has given instruction for those atrocities to be committed? And of course, if that is there, so be it. He must be held responsible for the instruction that he has given, which had led to genocide. But we all know that the situation in war is not a picnic situation. And therefore, if I fought for Nigerian civil war when General Gawan was our political leader, we were all given code of conduct, the way our soldiers should behave in the war front. If any of them was found not to have acted according to that code of conduct, should General Gawan in Lagos be arrested? Or should I in Port Harcourt be arrested? Who should? For what has happened in Iraq by the American soldiers, who in Washington should be arrested? I wonder, are these arrests criminal arrests or political arrests that have been recommended? And if they are political arrests, to satisfy who? And we must watch what we do and what we are allowed to do. When I was president of Nigeria, I supported ICC. But I supported ICC and we signed because we believe that it can serve some good for the world. I wonder today whether we have taken the right decision in supporting ICC, because some of what I have personally seen smack of more of politics than criminality. And if ICC continues along that line, its reputation will be grossly endangered and undermined.
And in terms of Nigeria, your home and so on, I read a piece the other day that said with the violence that's been going on in the Niger Delta and so on, that there was a danger, this particular correspondent said, danger of civil war in Nigeria. Is there such a danger?
No, I won't say civil war, because the situation in the Niger Delta is not a situation. It's not really a political situation, like Northern Ireland, for instance. No, it's a criminal situation. People have got used to easy way of making money by euphemism for stealing crude oil or refined product. They call it bunkering. And then when they are prevented from doing that, they go into taking hostages. It's more of criminal situation, which of course started with a bit of agitation of, well, we want more of the product from the God-given oil in our territory. And so I don't see the danger of a civil war. The leadership most of the responsible leadership in the Niger Delta don't go with what these boys are doing. Most of them. I won't say that all of them, because some, for whatever reason, covertly support them. But I believe that all of us in Nigeria must put all our hands together, all hands on deck, to deal with the situation in the Niger Delta.
Are you an optimist or a pessimist about the future of Nigeria?
I am highly optimistic. We have very high caliber of men and women. Most of them, very good men and women. Some of them, very bad. So bad that at times you will feel ashamed to call them Nigerians. But you have that everywhere. Yeah. Maybe the fact that we talk about our own bad people is an indication that there's hope for us.
Yes, that's very well put. Well, let's hope that the good ones prevail and that the bad ones don't. General, it's been a joy to talk to you today.
Thank you very much, David.
A real delight.
Thank you very much.
I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Thank you so much. The latest from Pakistan with the former foreign minister after this short break.